a full morning this morning on the Now Morning Show with TIC, of course, which starts today. And guess what? We have in studio with us now Ian Hayward, the operations manager at ANSA Mobility, which is a division of ANSA Motors Limited, and of course the ANSA Macau group of companies and official transportation partner.
Yes.
Good morning. How are you this morning?
Good morning. I'm all right. I'm all right.
It's wonderful.
I'm good.
It's wonderful to have you with us this morning.
Wonderful to be here.
Now, you are the official transportation partner for 2023, and it's not the first time that you've partnered together, if I'm correct, right? So what made you want to partner with TIC again this year?
Well, I think TIC is one of the leading business-to-business conventions, not just locally, but in the region. And of course, we push that top market leader mentality. We have a couple of locations as well across the islands, in Guyana, in Barbados as well. So with those territories having participants coming to Trinidad, we also wanted to do our part in having them see the beauty of our country as well. Because when persons come to TIC, they would also like the opportunity to go on tours in Trinidad and Tobago, to go to the beaches. So the transportation arrangement is not limited to getting to and from TIC, but to also allow external international groups and companies to be able to see Trinidad and Tobago as well. Oh, interesting. Yeah.
So this is a holistic approach to TIC. And how long have ANSA and TIC been together?
The engagement has been probably over the last 7 years.
Okay.
Of course, barring the online versions of it during COVID, but it would have been over the last 7 years intermittently, probably for about 4 or 5 of those editions.
Okay, wonderful. So let's talk a little bit about ANSA Mobility suite of services, because we hear a lot of posts about the ANSA Macau group of companies and so much more. But what services would corporate Trinidad benefit from with the suite of services coming from ANSA Mobility?
So mobility is banded about the world as the new direction for transportation.
Okay.
How do you move from one point to the other as easy as possible? So ANSA Mobility is really broken into 3 suites of services. You have the Europe Car brand, which is the leading car rental company in Europe, and that brand is to give you short-term rentals, persons who are coming in and out of Trinidad, staycations, or even if you want to upgrade your vehicle for a period, for a weekend, if you're doing something, you can get that opportunity with Europe Car. Very high-level vehicles, nothing older than 3 years old. So it's a different type of car rental. It's more internationally positioned. So you'll have that suite of service. You also have leasing. The generation now are not really interested in, most of the young industrious persons are not really interested in purchasing a car for 8 years.
Completely understood.
Yeah, so the leasing package, which comes inclusive of service, changing your tires, switching out all of that, just gives you the option to put fuel and drive. And your only challenge is to determine if you're putting the right fuel. And people have challenges with that as well. But that becomes your only challenge, and we will do everything else. So you take a vehicle for a couple of years. After that, you change it out and take a next vehicle. And from business perspective, you have no overhead costs because the fixed figure is factored into your business stream. So your expenses are kind of straightforward and measured as compared to incidentals that could come up if a vehicle has a problem, you have costs that you would not have foreseen. So the leasing arrangement gives you that kind of stability.
This leasing arrangement, is this only for businesses, or is this for individuals as well?
At present, we have it adjusted to businesses, but individuals have the opportunity, once we evaluate that they have the capacity to be honorable and to maintain that concept. Yes, 1 or 2 individuals have been given that opportunity.
Wonderful. All right, that's something to investigate further.
Yes. No, yes, that's correct.
So, okay, before we go any further, is there anything more you want to share on that, on the mobility services?
On the last suite of services, our Y Drive service.
Okay.
And basically, Y Drive when you can be driven is the slack line. So it's another position. It's a transportation position, just like some of the others that we know, but it's positioned differently. All the vehicles are owned by ANSA Macau. All the drivers are permanently employed by ANSA Macau. So there's a certain additional level of safety and security as it comes to that. So if you are home and you need to go down to the avenue or you need to go to an event and you don't want to drive, right? You can call Y Drive at any time, 2 o'clock in the morning if you need to go to the airport. And there's a safety reliability that comes with that. because the driver that's coming for you is an employee of ANSA McCall, not a random individual. The vehicle that is coming for you is under 3 years old, brand new, maintained and serviced by ANSA McCall. So there are certain risk factors that happen with other situations that you really reduce significantly, and you have the opportunity to take different levels of vehicles. So if you're having a girls' night out, for example, you can book a Range Rover to pick you and your girls up and carry you all and then come back and pick you all up. Or you can pick a Honda Accord or Civic or stuff like that.
You have us reevaluating our entire lives.
You need to reevaluate your life.
My goodness gracious me. Well, if you're just joining us, we're talking to Ian Hayward, the operations manager at ANSA Mobility. Now, let's go back to the relationship with TIC. You said it's a 7-year relationship, and of course, it is going to continue into the future.
Well, definitely.
But what would you say has been the most mutually beneficial thing between TIC and ANSA Motors?
I think providing the service to TIC has eased their headache as it pertains to the transportation logistics, because we don't just provide the vehicles, but we also provide the back-end team to manage the transfers, to liaise with the clients, etc. So they don't have that headache. On our side, you now have so many more people being exposed to what we do, and exposed in a meaningful way. Some people hear about it, and when they hear ANSA McCall, oh my gosh, it's probably 10 times the cost that they actually see, when it's actually very competitive in terms of like-for-like experiences. So TIC gives us that platform for the public and the wider nation to see it firsthand, to feel the experience firsthand, and coming out of that, a lot of people start to use it because it takes away the intimidation of coming in to find out.
Oh, definitely. That can be a bit intimidating sometimes. Now, before we close, what we discussed earlier on in the interview, you said that this is not just transportation to the event. This is transportation for Trinidad and Tobago, let's say. Can you share with us exactly, perhaps, some of the key points of maybe where you're going to be taking some of these participants and so forth?
So we have a mall transport from TIC. So there are a number of international persons who come in and want to run to Trinity Mall or the new mall that's out there as well, Eastgate. So there's a shuttle that runs to those malls from TIC. So those who are, because it's kind of tight for international persons, so they come to a hotel. We have a city tour from Port of Spain hotels to TIC and back to the Port of Spain hotels. We also have a city tour, the Magnificent Seven, carry them around the most biggest, largest roundabout in the world, and all of those different things we allow them to experience. And we also have the Maracas Beach tours as well. So after TIC over the weekend, they can have that, and that is also for locals as well. Locals can also decide to book your crew and take those tours. So those who pass through TIC this week would have discounts, 15% discounts on car rentals, discount on trips. So that would be local and international.
Park and ride, Maracas Beach, what we like to say is one of the wonders of the world, and so much more. Ian, you came into studio this morning to make us all reevaluate what we are doing with our lives, and especially when it comes to mobility. So don't forget, of course, ANSA Mobility, TIC partnering together, 7 years, and I'm sure it's going to be happening for a much longer time.
So for sure.
Thank you for joining us this morning on the Now Morning Show, and looking forward to having you back with us soon.
Nice, thank you for having me.
It's our pleasure. Stay tuned, there is more coming up this morning on this TIC Thursday on Now.